Rolling start. And boat one is underway across the start line. I know what my team does is we get that rolling start, we hit that start line, and we then go into our full-blown normal race start to accelerate for as long as we can, and then we settle in. And this is Dragon Warriors group coming across the line at a very high rate. Now they're starting to settle into their race stroke, slowing it down for the body of the race stroke, which you have to do in a 2K. And here comes Northwind, again, a very high rate coming across the start that you can see. They're holding that rate a little bit longer than the other teams, but now they're starting to settle into their race stroke. And here comes South Breeze Premier Open in their orange hats, again, a very high rate. And they're settling down. Looks like most of these boats are holding that high stroke rate for about 30 to 40 meters across the start line. Here comes Philadelphia Dragon Boat Association. This is Senior B Open. And again, these teams were seeded based on their 200-meter time, and that determines the start order. And the final boat is a Senior A Open boat, Dragon Warriors Nemesis Strong. So Dragon Warriors has a Premier Open and a Senior A Open boat in this race. And you can see as we get down the course, we're almost, looks like Dragon Warriors Groot has already made up some of the stagger on Dragonheart, Vermont. So this is going to be interesting to see who has right away going into that turn. Looks like Dragonheart is taking a slightly outside line, but no, Dragon Warriors Groot did not get overlap on them, so they're going to follow them through the turn corridor. They did not get overlap, but they have closed some of that starting gap. Then in third, we've got Northwind, and I would have to say Northwind has closed some of the gap on Dragon Warriors Groot. This is going to be some good racing coming down into this second turn, because we've got boats closing the gap, and we're going to have changes in position coming into the second turn, coming down the second 500. Okay, it looks like Dragon Warriors Groot has closed the gap on Dragonheart, Vermont. These are both Premier Open boats. Philadelphia Dragon Boat Association is through the turn cleanly, coming out of the turn and getting ready to go into the turn. We have Dragon Warriors Nemesis Strong. Yes, Dragon Warriors Groot has opened a gap now on Dragonheart, Vermont, and Northwind is coming up, closing the gap on Dragonheart, Vermont. You can see the rates have come down into a good, steady rate, strong rate. You've got to settle in this race. You can't hang on to that high rate for 2,000 meters. You have to bring it down to make it through the entire 2,000 meters. Looks like Northwind has got overlap on Dragonheart, Vermont going into this turn. Definitely they do. So Northwind will have right away over Dragonheart, Vermont. Dragon Warriors Groot is getting ready to go into the turn cleanly. Northwind will have the right of way in this turn over Dragonheart, Vermont. Okay, we have boat 3 clearly. Dragonheart, Vermont's going wide of the corridor. They're taking the wide route around the corridor. That is an option. You can take that outside of the corridor position. That is legitimate. It's legal. And you've got Northwind in the middle of the corridor. You may have just seen it. Northwind got it a little bit wide in the corridor, and several of the paddlers had to alter their stroke because they were into the buoys. Now we've got Philadelphia Dragon Boat Association coming in. Philadelphia Dragon Boat is cleanly into the corridor. Coming out of the second turn, we have Dragon Warriors Groot. We've got Northwind, Dragon Heart Vermont. And South Breeze Premier Open has overtaken Dragon Heart Vermont. Then we've got Philadelphia Dragon Boat Association out of the turn, and with about 200 meters to go to the turn, we have Dragon Warriors Nemesis Strong. Dragon Warriors Groot has opened a considerable lead over the rest of the field, followed by Northwind, South Breeze Premier Open, and it looks like South Breeze Premier Open is trying to close the gap on Northwind, Dragon Heart Vermont. And coming into the turn is Dragon Warriors Nemesis Strong, coming into their second turn. Going into the third turn, it is still Dragon Warriors Groot going into the turn cleanly. I believe that's Northwind going in right behind them very cleanly, followed by South Breeze Premier Open and Dragon Heart Vermont. Dragon Warriors Groot is in their final 500. This is the time. This is the point where it really starts to hurt in a 2K. You're in that final 500, and now it's time to treat it like a 500-meter race and really accelerate into the finish. You can see Northwind cutting inside, looking for clean water. That is perfectly acceptable in the final 500 of a 2K. You can see how the boats spread out, keep that clean water, avoid the wake from the boats ahead of them so that everybody's getting a full paddle and getting the maximum out of each stroke. Coming into the finish, it is Dragon Warriors Groot with a lead over Northwind, and coming up hard is South Breeze Premier Open. Dragon Warriors Groot is across the finish line. Northwind is, with about 10 meters to go, is now across the line, and this is South Breeze Premier Open closing quite a bit of the gap. So the final times are going to be interesting on this event, on this race. With about 50 meters to go, it's Dragon Heart Vermont coming into the finish. And they're followed by Philadelphia Dragon Boat Association. Remember, these are different categories. Dragon Heart Vermont is a Premier Open. Philadelphia Dragon Boat is a Senior B Open boat. They're coming through strong. Philadelphia is across the line. Unofficially, here are the times. South Breeze Premier Open, 8:23:46. Dragon Warriors, South Breeze Premier Open. Dragon Warriors Groot Premier Open,